Hi, this is Sean, and this channel is called Wolf Dog Moon. And on today's episode of Comic Book Realms, we're going to review issue number 30 of Conan the Barbarian. So if you like this kind of content, smash that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more, ring the bell for notifications, comment down below, and share with your friends. Alright, let's get into this one. Alright, so if you've seen our previous episodes of Comic Book Realms, then you know how this is going to go. We're going to split this up into two parts. We're going to do a spoiler-free section, and then we're going to do a spoiler section. And we'll let you know once we go into the spoiler section. We're going to go through the comic kind of and show you the marquee moments. But in the spoiler-free section, we're just going to give you a brief overview of the comic book in case you want to go get this issue for yourself and read it for yourself. And then we do encourage you to come back here and watch the rest of the video so you can comment down below and we can have a discussion and have a good old time. Alright, so let's do this. So here we got a pretty old issue of Conan the Barbarian. I mean, it's inside it says 1973, and as you can see, it's 20 cents, so it's pretty old. It's, number 30. Now, believe it or not, I picked this up last week at a flea market, and you're not going to believe what I paid for this. $3. So I think I got a pretty good deal on this. I mean, this comic book is almost 50 years old. And so we got $3. It's in pretty good condition, if you ask me, especially for $3. So just wanted to get that out there. And now, first of all, what really drew me to this issue was this awesome cover. I mean, I love this. You got Conan. He's like lifted up the sword, which is covered in blood and stuff. Some of the blood trails over the graphic symbol of the word Conan. I think that's epic. And then you have, what I like is he's just the small section over here. In the newer comics, newer than this one, they have a box right here, but as you can see, Conan's just floating there with this green circle behind him. This whole presentation looks awesome. So this really jumped out at me when I was at this, it's called the Emporium, and I was just kind of going around, and they had a box of comics and stuff, which every single comic in the box is $3. So this was in the box too, and I thought it was a no-brainer to pick this one up. And then you got this awesome bat-like demon, that's attacking Conan, and it's got its nasty claw on his leg and stuff, and he's just going bananas in like a berserker rage to try to take this thing down. And all these guys have been killed in the background, it looks like. And then you got this sexy hot babe right here screaming, and she's terrified by what's going on. It almost looks like he's about to kind of slash her by mistake or something, the way she's positioned. But as you see later when we get into the actual comic book, he's he's the hero on this hero's journey and stuff, and so he wouldn't be doing that, obviously. But you have this awesome shield, and I like how the design is kind of on an angle. So you got the grounds going on an angle, and so everything fits nicely the way in the composition. And so this issue is called The Devil Beasts of Nurgle, and then this is one of the devil beasts, this demonic creature. And this comic, the basics of this comic, I'm going to back up a little bit, is it starts off right away in the action where Conan, he serves in the mighty host of King Yildiz, and he's fighting against the Iron Shard legions of Munthasum Khan, a rebellious satrap. It's some kind of ruler. It's spelled S-A-T-R-A-P, so satrap of northern Turan. And so he's part of this. He's a mercenary in this mighty host of King Yildiz. So he's very much trying to take down this evil horde of this Methuselah Khan. And so right away you're thrust into the action where Conan's just savaging people with his sword and taking down these, and they're like, and I'll show you when we go inside if you stick around for the spoiler section. They have these great compositions. Like every panel in this particular comic is done in a unique way compared to other comics probably of that time. And so you have these epic compositions where Conan's standing over the bodies that he's already slain, and you have these host of enemies coming up like sort of like through this ridge or through these like rock formations as they make their way to try to take him down. And they're like, take this dog of war down, and they're saying all this epic stuff, and all the lines in this story are epic like that. Everything is over the top, and Conan is this pathic berserker barbarian warrior, and he's a pathic fighter, and he can't beat he yells to his own forces when the army shifts, the tide shifts, where you now have demonic forces and these devil beasts show up, and they're the armies break formation and fear and stuff, but Conan stands his ground. So that's how this comic starts out. It starts out in an epic way, and what you have here is a full story that plays out, a beginning, a middle, and end, where Conan goes on a quest in this issue, and it's resolved by the end of the comic. So you could just get this issue and you would get a complete story where Conan is basically tasked in order to stop this Methuselah Khan, who has been given over to demonic forces, and Conan's the only one that can take this guy down, and he has this very special aspect to him in this particular comic, a special talisman that he possesses that will give him the edge to take down this demonic force that has rose up and basically oppressed an entire countryside and the entire city. And it has to do with this Nurgle. So that's, without giving it all away, as far as the spoiler free section, I wouldn't want to say any more in case you do want to go pick this up for yourself. And let me know down in the comments what you think about this particular comic if you do go get it. And, as far as just what you think. If you think that I scored a pretty good deal with this one. Again, I only paid $3 for it at an Emporium. So I think I got a pretty good deal. And you can let me know down in the comments below if you collect Conan the Barbarian. And so this will end the spoiler-free section, and we do encourage you to come back. But this is an awesome issue. You get to go on this awesome hero's journey with this Conan character, where he has to save the bodacious babe here, and he has to take on these demonic forces and free a people that have been enslaved by this demonic force and the power of the devils and his beasts of Nurgle. So this is an awesome one, and I definitely encourage you to check it out. So let's get into the spoiler zone. So give me 1 second, please. All right, so here we go. Let's get into this. And again, this cover is awesome. You have the yellow back here. It really makes this section pop out where all the action's happening. And you have this babe in this bikini type thing, and she's just screaming. And then you have all these troops in the back that have been defeated. This is epic. And then this really pops and stuff. And you got the slash of blood, which goes over the word Conan. It looks awesome. So let's jump into this one. So here you go. Here's what I'm talking about. You have this awesome composition where you have Conan up here fighting back this host of enemies, and he's pushing them back and killing them and stuff, and they're screaming, slay him, you dogs of your mothers. He is a wild born barbarian, true, but he's still just one man. So he's more than a man, though. He's more than just one man. And so they're up against this right here. And, this is what I was saying earlier in the spoiler-free section. This starts off right with the action. You have this is an awesome composition. These guys are flowing up to him, and he's just cutting them down like the dogs they are. So it's called The Hand of Nurgle, and here's the artist. Not sure if this guy's related to, if you've seen our previous episodes of Comic Book Realms where we do the Incredible Hulk. This last name is similar to the other one. I don't know if they're, father-son kind of thing or brothers. You can let me know in the comments and we'll all learn together. And then this, of course, is adapted from the story by Lynn Carter and Robert E. Howard, creator of Conan. So, this was, again, 1973. This is a pretty dang old comic. And I got it for $3. I think that's awesome. So you can let me know. But it has this awesome coloration where you got all these oranges and stuff and then the teals that pop out and stuff. And it really gets you into the action and the intensity of Conan's fierceness. As he's a savage warrior. Look at that. He's just smashing through these guys. And he's just unstoppable. And this is an epic picture right here. Look at this. And he can stand off any army, it says. Off an army. And that's it, you rebels. Flee back to combat on the flat where mere numbers can overwhelm a foe. In my native Cimmeria, we'd not trade a good woman for the lot of you. It's awesome. Look at that. This guy's already been dispensed with. These guys are crumbling under the weight of his savage and brutal attacks. This is awesome. He just leaves these guys hacked and destroyed. And then he rests on the edge of his sword. He leans a moment on his dripping blade to rest his sinewy arms. It's awesome. And I got this awesome pictures here. It's blowing in the breeze where he starts to explain this. He found this amulet. Now, I'll show you up ahead. This amulet is significant to this particular story. So as he's staring off in the distance, he sees these bat-like demonic forms, these nameless things approaching. And already he's concerned and stuff. And next thing you know, these things, they're like vapor. They're like transparent, and these demonic entities, and they fall upon the army, and just, it's horrific. They're just slaying these guys, and there's nothing they can do. They're chopping and just they're yelling to stand and fight, but they're dying in horrible agony despite their efforts. And so they just turn tail and start running. And so this other force is trying to regroup. The rebel host is running. So these guys, I guess, considered the rebels that Conan was fighting with. And they've just broke ranks and they're fleeing for their lives. And Conan's like, oh, by Crom. He's like, you must stand. Stand, you fatherless curs. He wants them to stand and fight. But he doesn't fully understand, I think, what they're facing. They actually have seen the terror and felt, the bitter cold of these demonic forces, that, they're unyielding and unable to be defeated. But Conan thinks anything can be defeated. So he's screaming at them not to run and stuff. But he's also starting to get concerned because, he's yelling and trying to bolster them so that they won't flee and stuff. And he almost is successful until one of the demons attacks him. And it's so cold. Ishtar and Mitra, he yells. And it forces him to drop his sword. It's so cold. Even though he slashed it, it just fuses back together. So it's very much this apparition, wraith-like creature. And it's not of substance and stuff. And not able to be defeated in that way. So he's yelling basically for help of any fashion at this point, because he's just being overwhelmed by this demonic bat-like creature. But luckily he had found this amulet, and he grips it by mistake, and it gives, for whatever reason, this demonic thing, is afraid of this amulet that he has, and so it flees. And so he kind of collapses and stuff as a result of how bitter cold this thing's attack was. So then you have this epic picture right here. This is awesome. They have the orange and the way the clouds are going, and they put the graphic design, the way they put the typography in the clouds and stuff. It's awesome. It's like nothing else moves on the silent, blood-bathed field. Nothing but one young Cimmerian giant far from home. So you get, that's an awesome picture. That's what I was explaining earlier. You get these awesome pictures, and he stumbles to get some water and a drink, and now he hears somebody whining in the brush, and so he thinks he'll just dispense with them and maybe take some plunder for himself to make this day a worthwhile day. But he ends up discovering a girl, and she's passed out over here, but she's half passed out because she's moaning and stuff. So he picks her up, and she's afraid of the bats and stuff, but right away he's the one that she's been looking for. So it's circumstances of, like, there's no coincidence here. She was looking for him, and he discovers her, and at first he doesn't believe her, but once she starts explaining that she was sent to find him, and it starts to make sense to him. So he's still cautious about it, but once she goes on and explains, but she does mention that gold, he'll make some gold and stuff if he helps them. So he's like, I'm in. So let's go. So she's weak and fatigued from this demonic attack. Everyone could feel it and stuff, and the potency of it. So he ends up having to carry her. Now, what's interesting is this is the babe that's on the cover, and her coloration is completely different. So I don't know if they did the cover first and then they did inside, but they didn't match the color, which is interesting. So as they're progressing towards where she is leading him, we discover that these two men right here, this guy right here, his name is Prince Thon, and this is Atlas. And they go on to explain that the ruler, this Muthalsum Khan, he was a good person at first until he got in his possession this thing called the Hand of Nurgle, and it has caused a horrific curse on the city and all the inhabitants. They can't be out at night at all, or they'll be under siege from these demonic forces. And also this ruler, this Khan, he is under this dark influence of this, not only this dream lotus, which he uses some kind of drug in order to keep himself from completely just being hysterical, but he's also under the control of this Hand of Nurgle. And then everyone is cursed, like this Prince Thon is cursed every so often. All of a sudden he becomes blind, and this horrific pain that goes with it. And then this other guy, Atlas, he's cursed as well by, once this Hand of Nurgle showed up, it basically twisted the mind of this Khan so that he left these guys alone because he still needs them, but he's torturing them at the same time, and eventually they'll both be destroyed from the pain and the torture. So he's doing it very much in a demonic way just to see them suffer. So they know that he has to be taken down and stuff, and so that's why these are the two that sent for Conan. He's the only one that can help them. So they're both, waiting for some kind of help, and help does arrive with Conan and this woman. And so Conan finds out about their plight and stuff, like what I explained. And Conan at first is like, all right, let's talk. And they're like, well, they're very hospitable and stuff. They're very genuine in their actions. They're doing this for the right reasons, because they want to save all the people in this city. And so it's like, some people usually wall themselves off in their house, lock the doors and stuff every night, but sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes it's enough, but a lot of times it's not. The demons can just smash the walls down or smash the doors in and get them. It's kind of like Bloodborne. If you ever played the video game Bloodborne, which we're doing a Let's Play on our channel, we encourage you to check that out. But this issue of Conan sounds a lot like Bloodborne, where once the hunt happens or once the night comes and the demons are out, most of the people just shut themselves up inside and they put incense on and stuff like that to try to ward off these beasts. And that's what's happening here too as well. So this guy Atlas tells Conan, you know, we could talk more in the morning and stuff, but let's get you something to eat and so you can rest from your mighty battle. But Conan's like, no, we talk now, and you know, let's just get this done. So while he gets the food, and while they're eating, he explains what I explained earlier. They need to stop this, you know, destroy this hand of Nurgle somehow and get it away from the Khan, so that, you know, they can free the city and also free themselves from this torture and curse that they're under. And so Conan's like, what do I do? And that's when this guy explains that he has the amulet that he found is actually a mighty talisman. And the talisman is called the Heart of Tammuz, or Tammuz. So he explains that that's the one way that they can defeat. So this goes on to explain what I did earlier, where once this guy was a good ruler, but this guy showed up with this box, and inside had the hand of Nurgle, and after that the city quickly descended into chaos, where first they were rounding people up, and then that's when the demons came later. So, and people were found bloodied and destroyed and killed and stuff. So he explains all that stuff, and he talks about how the amulet that Conan has is the way that they can stop this Khan and his evil hand. So they find their ways into the sewers so that they can tunnel under this guy, the ruler, as he's basically in a drugged out stupor with this lotus stuff that he uses, this dream lotus, which is some kind of drug and stuff. So they find the secret place to enter, and right away what's cool is they're whispering, okay, trying to give instructions to Conan and stuff, and this guy's supposed to be in his drug stupor or whatever, but instead what happens is he's been waiting for them. He used the crystal ball to know what they were up to while they were, you know, trying to plan and their machinations of how they were going to take this guy down. And so look how demonic this guy looks. He's been totally corrupted and destroyed. He looks like a ghastly wraith himself, and so he wants to see them tortured and stuff. And so they're trying to fight back, and Atlas is just writhing in pain, and then the prince, he just goes blind. And that was Myra. She always has to do that in our videos. She likes to clink her collar together to let you know she's here. So say hi to Myra in the comments. And then they're trying to do something, but he's able to use this hand of Nurgle. It's so powerful. He just can, you know, like I said, he makes this guy blind, and the other guy's just writhing in pain. And so Conan goes into action, but again, he's up against these forces that are much just horrifically powerful, and so he kind of can't. The cold is too much, and so just like when he fought the demon, it's too strong for him and stuff. So this guy's reveling in his victory and stuff. So what's cool is one thing he doesn't count on, and that's the woman that Conan had found. And she runs over to Conan as he's prone, and then she grabs the talisman and she flings it at this guy. And so he loses his grip on the hand of Nurgle. And so what happens next is the hand releases its kind of demonic avatar or whatever, but so does the talisman. And so a mighty battle erupts as each one conjures this sort of like spirit warrior, and they're fighting each other, and they're battling to decide which one is going to be victorious. And so at first it seems like the demon is winning, and then but the other spirit warrior turns the tide at the last second and destroys the hand of Nurgle, and then all is quiet once more. And so after that, the evil ruler has been destroyed along with his dark machinations. And so what's cool is at the end, everything is kind of wrapped up in this issue. And so the man called Atlas becomes the new ruler, and then the prince is, working with him and stuff. So they offered Conan all the gold that he wanted, and also he could be like the captain of the guards or an important person in the city and stuff. But after a week of being in the city, he's already feeling like he could be needed elsewhere, because he's already getting soft and he's already bored. So he's ready to move on and get back on the hero's journey. And so they offered him gold and stuff, which he only takes a little bit, but the real prize that he ends up with is this woman, who one of these guys right here thought that they were going to be with her, but this is the real prize that Conan ends up with, which is this woman at the end. So it says, some men fight at least at times for other things than gold. So it ends in this awesome way. And so I'm going to wrap this one up before it gets too long in the tooth, because for me this is an awesome issue. Definitely encourage you to check this one out and add it to your collection. If you've never read Conan before, with this one you get a complete story. It starts off with this awesome action. You get this awesome tale that plays out where you have demonic forces that he has to take down, and also he has to use a magical talisman to destroy this other essentially evil artifact that one is a counter for the other. And the entire city is been under this horrific curse, and so Conan has to battle these dark forces and figure out a way to come out on top. And also he has to he ends up saving this bodacious babe and all the inhabitants of the city. And you just get that plays out in this issue an entire story arc and stuff. So if you've never read Conan before, this would be a good place to check out. You get right into the action and you get all the awesome aspects of the Conan character. So let us know what you think down below. We hope that this video has been beneficial to you and that you've enjoyed it. And like I said before, subscribe to our channel for more, and like and smash that like button. It really does help the channel. In the meantime, we hope that this video finds you having an awesome day, and we hope that you have a blessed day and that your spirits remain high. Signing out.